This is Newsbeat from OU Daily. I'm Megan Pratt. Here are your weekly headlines. Last Saturday, a candlelight vigil was held at Andrews Park to honor Nex Benedict, a 16-year-old non-binary high school student from Owasso. On February 7th, Benedict experienced a fight in the women's restroom. Sue Benedict, Nex's mother, said Nex was beaten to the ground by 3 girls who had bullied them for the past month. Following the fight, Benedict was taken to, examined, and discharged from Bailey Medical Center. Benedict collapsed the next afternoon and was taken to St. Francis Pediatric Emergency Room, where they were later pronounced dead. Representative Annie Menz, Senator Mary Boren, and Councilmember Helen Grant were among the 9 community members who spoke at the vigil. City Council elections were held February 13th with 4 ward seats up for contention. Ward 4 Councilmember Helen Grant won re-election against challenger Judy Moss. Norman community banker Joshua Hinkle won the Ward 6 seat, defeating Pastor Jerry Drury. Norman Ward 8 residents voted to elect Scott Dixon to City Council, beating Kyle Hurley. The Ward 2 race ended with no candidate receiving enough votes to win outright, leading to a runoff election between electrician Russell Rice and Ward 8 council member Matt Peacock on April 2nd. Hertz Donuts in Norman was shut down this month by the Oklahoma Tax Commission. Hertz Donuts is the second chain location in Norman to close its stores. Nashbird, an Oklahoma-based hot chicken chain, closed 3 of its 4 locations in January, including its Norman restaurant on Main Street. 3 other locally owned businesses have recently shut down or scaled back operations, including 405 Burger Bar, Penny Hill Deli, and Equity Brewing Company. Moving to campus, on February 16th, police officials were called to investigate a small black tarp, cinder blocks, bricks, and trash in front of the covered wagon statue behind Gaylord Hall. Propped next to the objects was a sign that read, quote, "Ignore this like you do genocide. 28,000 and counting. Silence is complicity," end quote. Bomb squad members probed the scene before issuing an all clear. Last Wednesday, OU Police Chief Nate Tarver said the individual responsible for placing the objects outside of Gaylord Hall would not be charged. Tarver told OU's staff senate that the individual called police and explained the objects were part of a protest art display and were placed with no malicious intent. OU announced that it would be changing OU's Division of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion to the Division of Access and Opportunity in accordance with Governor Stitt's December executive order calling for a formal review of diversity, equity, and inclusion. OU reaffirmed that no one will lose their employment with the university. Faculty and students of OU's language department programs weighed in on the national decline of collegiate language programs and their value to students' education. Nian Liu, chair of OU's Department of Modern Languages, Literatures, and Linguistics, said learning a language enriches a student's education. Here's Liu reflecting on the instrumental benefits of learning a language.
Some people might think that language learning is about, learning the grammar of this language. But for us, language and literature education is more than that. It's about intercultural awareness and how that you can become true global citizenship. And you are not just learning a language, you are learning the culture behind it. You are getting to know the people, right? You're going to get a shared perspective of how they view this world.
To read more about OU's language programs, visit oudaily.com. The 2024 presidential election is predicted to be contentious and polarizing. As college-age voters gear up for the election, partisanship has only grown and trust in candidates continues to dwindle. According to OU community members, young voters feel apathetic and unrepresented in politics. Abrar Hassani, a Pakistani-American, junior pre-med student and socialist organizer at OU, said young voters are becoming disengaged with voting because they are not seeing results on the federal level. Let's look at the Daily's calendar for coming events this week. On Thursday night, the International Advisory Committee is hosting the International Pageant to crown their international royalty. On Friday, OU softball will be playing at the new softball stadium, Loves Field, for the first time against Miami University and Liberty. And women's gymnastics will compete against Michigan. On Friday, catch a viewing of University Theater's production of Life is a Dream. Check the calendar tab on our website, which features campus, city, and statewide events. Thank you for listening to Newsbeat from OU Daily. This is the Daily's weekly news podcast. In between episodes, keep up with us throughout the week on Facebook at OU Daily, Instagram, and Threads at the OU Daily. Sports fans, be sure to check out the OU Daily Sports Podcast for the latest in sports commentary. If you want to read more about the stories you heard on this podcast, you can find those and more online at oudaily.com. I'm Megan Pratt. I'm a news reporter here at the Daily, and I'll see you here next week on the Newsbeat.